Hello everyone, guys. Today we will be trading on this stream. We will trade on Bybit using our excellent indicator Bybit, pumps and dumps. And sometimes we will look at the mix of pumps and dumps and our other tools. So let's get started. Let's see what we have the last pump. So far, the kind of thing dumps on Alpaca look. Now let's see how she behaves there. So I look at us Vyacheslav further trades on the Bybit of Karar coins. Cool. And by the way, we have worked out yesterday's Alpaca stage. I'll show you now. Here's the test. I showed on the stream yesterday that we will approach this slope and there will be a short movement, which in general happened. Here, right during the broadcast, I threw off this screenshot. Well, yes, it's minus 3%, if I'm not mistaken. Wow! Someone closed a deal for 570% in 5 seconds. Cool. So, now we're going to switch to Bybit. Let's take a look at the stick at the same time. So, right away, baby throws me dirty tricks here from the very beginning of the stream. Thank you. We'll be back quickly now. Alpaca minus 12% is not to say that it has gone much somewhere after yesterday. By the way, this is our spent clone. Yesterday I said on the air that she could approach her, that is, it was possible to get a little later here and collect almost 10% of the net movement according to the schedule after the stream. So now I will open chats everywhere to see what you write. Literally for a minute, something is happening with us. I see the whole market is heating up. Strange. That's where someone wrote a failure. By the way, someone is waiting for a rebound. Now let's take a look. The new coins have also written funding minus 0.2. On TH coin. What is it? Do we have the inscription? Perimeter. I think the shoulders or volumes have been lowered. It only confuses me that she went for a rest on the 28th of March, not very long ago, the volume of 20 million. And not to say that it is a super volatile coin. Plus, here it can be if the same proto-trading continues, then how consolidation will look like. I don't know, I would have missed Tom High recently, because it's unclear what will happen next. Hello everyone, guys who are on YouTube. Now they are asking for alpaca there. Guys who are on YouTube, if it's not hard for you, you can put a like there to promote the stream. The more activity you show, the more often there will be streams. We have the 5th stream this week, in fact. For being active yesterday. The 5th trading stream is being held here. To block the wick, I wonder about which wick. Probably, Elena is talking about this one. Well, we collected liquidity here, and now I'll even show you, we had levels here. Now I'll quickly take and mark these levels so that you understand. This stage could be worked out in a timer. Those who have been trained in our Scalping Academy know everything about how it could be worked out. Such local cascades for a minute, and I will also look at the upper wick, hear about this wick. Now let's see in general what we have on the alpaca chart. This is where we have alpaca turns out to collect liquidity in the morning. Wow! 25% could be taken away, that is, those who had been trained in Scalping Pro could earn such a large movement with the 20th shoulder. This is 400% according to the schedule. This is 4x on the margin, and according to that strategy, we have 5% of the deposit, that is this. Damn, 20% of the deposit could be taken here, awesome. The lower wick. Is that it? Well, there's not 50% of the lower wick. There will be 50 from top to bottom here, so we need to take a look at the local zones now. If only you measure it like this, and then 40 will be, but by the way, the price logically stopped on this wick. Logical liquidity was collected. According to Alpaca, everything is so minus 3%, it's almost 3.5 hours more. This is our 15-minute zone. Well, it was logical that liquidity came, collected it with these levels. Here earlier, she also stabbed these levels like that is, this is her character already, you can say so on the next level now. I will remove these so that we do not have any extra information. If Elena, you are hinting at a long, then no. We will definitely not be long alpaca now. Well, here, by the way, this growth was logical on the whole, because I think now to switch to a watchmaker or 30 minutes. Then this is roughly what we have, and the balance was formed, and it was blocked by 50% on this watch even. Even completely, yes. The full was blocked without noticing right away. Here, 50% blocked, then rollback, then full, blocked, then rollback. And you mean shut off this wick by 50%. But by the way, the touch will be in support. In general, yes, it will be logical, but it's too late to go in fact. It was necessary to go in here a little earlier if the stream was launched. I look at the local Protorgovka was 4 or 5 minutes. Here it was possible to enter this zone from her and put up a rather short stop. That is, if you go from the lower limit, then 6% would be a stop. The global goal is the lower bound here, and I would consider the first fixation, if for this operation, then plus or minus. Or for this Protorgovka I would aim or here, as the wall would move. That is, 16% of the first fixation is already 1 in 3 risk driver, plus you can reach here as globally 30%. But now it's definitely too late and dangerous to go in. Plus, the coin is quite manipulative. Coma we dump, and nets and broccoli. I wonder how they are doing there, which we just looked at, and the candles are very weak. Strange, writes minus 0.8, minus 0.36, and the candle is green. There's something strange on the coin, so I'll take a look. Let's take a look at the moon too. Yes, alpaca is quite possible that the delisting can be cancelled, but the pleasantness is small, so I don't see a coin. Maybe it's on the Mexc. Yes, the 30th. A few more days. If, by the way, this listing is cancelled, then I most likely believe that. I don't know what it is, the note isn't, so we go further. A spec coin, then the alpaca will most likely begin to fall on the contrary, due to the fact that this listing will be cancelled. The logic is so-so, but it's like this 20 million spec. I don't like the sidewall anymore. So, did we trade in it with you or something? I have such consolidations, wow, like Anto. Technically, everything came to my zones, and the levels were collected beautifully, and here she worked perfectly. Here she also worked out the lower boundary. And why spec? And there are reversals in the plan. I'm in the mix, okay, let's take a look after the success. 4-day coins. So, well, she's in Protorgovka now, she got support here after I look at a strong correction from the quiz. Then she was Protorgovka here for a day. In general, the zone here is logical, plus it has collected liquidity. Well, the maximum that can still be noted is the last 3 levels, so to speak, which are on top. And they are so dense. The guys who are on YouTube. You can tell the music how to hear it normally, loud, quiet, quieter make it louder. Yeah. Well, then let's leave it that way. So, what's interesting? I would have looked for some more imbalances, because I see she fell very heavily here. I can't make the microphone louder, unfortunately. It's worth it to the maximum. As far as it is possible with such a twisted one. So, I'll try to speak louder. I'll bring the microphone closer. So, let's drive on. This moment is interesting. Now, I don't know, you can find fault with saying that maybe a bowl will be drawn, but this, damn it. I don't consider such things at all. For me, this is nonsense. From above, there are also such things about the trader, you can also highlight. So now, the zone was stabbed again. The zone is large, we need to do it less. I have allocated 6% too much. The Protorgovki here were such that the lower borders were definitely correct, but as for the upper one, I would single it out here because of this Protorgovka, that it probably could not break through the upper border here in any way. So, let's take a look at the perp. There we still have The indicator should be looked at in parallel. Now there is nothing, so now guys, the fourth Mexc is tormaging a little bit. I think if the coin, so to speak, has changed the trend globally, then we can at least count something here. But this is 100% growth, that is to X's. It still depends on the market itself, what news comes out. Plus, I do not know what kind of project it is, perhaps it is some kind of strong project, not strong. That is, fundamental, I do not know what kind of coin. If you look from the technical side, then here you can see a reversal from the lower border. There will clearly be a reaction as always. After that, when the coin approaches this price, I will now show you what the layouts can be here. I think when it comes here, well, let's say now it will probably be a trade here at the upper border. It will break through these three levels on the daily, and then you will need to see how the whole price will behave. Because I think there will be strong resistance here, but I can't rely on it much somehow because there is no history behind. This may turn out to be a new support, we need to look. Plus, this candle was blocked by half of the imbalance, roughly speaking, on the day. From here it is possible, if it really fades, and some negative news appears, then I think it will return to this support zone. There again, it is necessary to see how she will behave. If buyers still have a positive attitude, then I think it will slowly rise. It will get a reaction from the lower border. With some kind of reaction, most likely there will be a protorgovka. From here there will be a correction, again. You will need to look at what will happen from the lower border. It can, so to speak, put itself on the level for a simpler approach to this level and collecting liquidity behind these levels. And I think here it will still change its trend. That is, there are several layouts. Everything needs to be looked at according to the situation, and it is very difficult to predict a coin. Plus, I would rest on the formation of these glasses. A million turnover is 46%. I believe there was at least a million growth before this. At 15 minutes, the chart is not very good, because here the proto-trading stupidly stood for 11 hours. This is very bad for the coin. The nature of the coin, or a small downward movement, or these are the impulses that you can try to work out, but very carefully. The coin has collected quite a large number of levels. At least, she collected these two levels, which she collected them. Yes, that's right. So about the trader to find. Normal adequate. This dream can only be noted, but it is quite high. More locally, that's where we have the coin for quite a long time. You can also note well, plus one more zone can be noted after a strong correction. Also an interesting price range. Most of all, I like this and this. That's the question. So, in 5 minutes. Oh, the picture is interesting. There was consolidation. Yesterday, I was talking about how coins can behave after these consolidations. About what? I'll show you now. After the impulse, the coin rolls down, gets into a protorgovka, gives an impulse down, and, leaving this protorgovka, begins a new upward movement. Thereby artists often sit down here and collect, so to speak, new liquidity. The only thing that I really don't like about these coins is low revs, and this is very bad. Due to the fact that she has only a million turnover, she can still fly very much, and 200% for her. This may turn out to be the norm. Now there is a 5-minute plus tilt, which will help her change the trend with this tilt. It's a long way to go, of course. On the clock. Some kind of Coins have such a character. She's in Protorgovka often very much all day, or impulse Protorgovka is very bad, but if it's a Cohen shield, then I think the edge of the movement will be here. From here, it will definitely be necessary to consider shorts, so it is possible for the future. You need to keep in mind that at least adequate volumes are needed. It will be necessary to consider shorts from this zone. Now I will give the price to the shorts zone. And now I will write to you firm where you can take it from the lower border. Let's go there. Yes, I forget to look at the indicator. Now. Hay is being pampered again. It was probably possible to go in, right? Yes, it's a pity I missed it. Now then, I will probably turn on fatigue in order to react to everything. I think it's better not to touch it. So, now I will find the lower boundary here. Here it is. There are no combs, we do not trade at all. I initially said that the character of the coins is very bad. But from the lower limit of support plus volumes, you can work out in high, and it makes no sense to go in. Because I will give Pylos there, yes. I overslept. Wow, damn, it would be perfect to take away the movement. Here's where the indicator sent us that it was on the pump, and they could take 12% here in a minute. Damn, I wonder who you have worked with us from Privatka. Probably not. Everyone is on the stream. Okay, let's give the lower border for the future to the gym 4 shorts in private. That's it. So the coin type has recently been flipped, I'm not mistaken, because I remember how I gave it to F. So there are 40 million levels to break through and would like to wait for this level. Although we probably broke through this level. Before this stabbing, there was a local traffic jam, the level was assembled. I must have been late. I'm not going in right now, just looking at her. But I'm probably too late. So I want to see what it will show next, so I'm not going in yet. It's too far to the level of this. 8%, so some kind of schedule, I don't understand. 07, damn, weak candles. So let's add the volumes. I would follow the coin further. $30 an hour. $30. Maybe we have something on the old frames there. Because it's so hard to say. But there is a dubious zone here. Coin type, right. In my opinion, we got her Andri in the reviews of some recent ones. Plus a bottom-up solution. So for the future, the inclination. So you need at least 2.5 million volumes. So, hi Rex. Let's try to enter from the upper border. By a percentage. How much is the upper bound? These 27. So the volumes are generally large. Then it will be possible to enter the market. So the attenuation will wait for everything to active. The lower one from the upper border has opened. Positions. So TVX turned out to be 0.18757 immediately rolled in. Wow, that's a good roll. That's it, I'm fixing it. I won't wait. The first movement was taken away. Trading history, everyone has closed the short. Now I'm going to make a PNL from my phone. I'll send you how I'll make 200 of them, somewhere I do when I'm not working. I don't go to school. When you work out every coin in focus. Quite a lot of indicators are sent deals. 41%, almost 2% on schedule. The reaction is instant. Who came in there with us, share on they are already sending. They went as perfectly as possible, as I said. There will be a reaction from the upper limit if I still set a limit, but they would have taken it right to the upper limit at the peak 445 perfectly worked out. I think it's better to go in next time after breaking through the level. So here we have Michelle has already sent our own place Daniel, too, here are 58%, so Igor threw off a screenshot there. Now let's take a look. The zone in my phi is 18% to the zone for bombs phi is not to say that everything is too far away. By the way, they came out well. As always, I pick up the first movement and go out. In the past, the stream also traded it there in plus closed. By the way, a coin of Sokolev's level is up to 30 minutes. I'll switch to the clock right away. Here he stabbed this level a long time ago. I broke through these two levels pretty well. I didn't see him. 7% could be taken away. I think those who were trained with us could work it out in general. Enki volume is low, understated C. I think it would be possible to go through the tiger. Oh, there's an even more interesting zone here, it turns out. It is possible to work with two zones like this. Now the question is, which zone did you send? Because I can't see the price very well. Most likely, this is it, because according to this movement, as if this is it. I suppose. I think the coin can come there and calmly from the lower border, it will be possible to dial into the short. But I think you were talking about this zone. Here is the zone, its coordinates. You can fix the zone there a little bit. If you want, you can go into shorts from the lower border. So we already have a deal for this stream. He's going to the barracks. Hi there, I guess they're driving him back and forth now. But in my opinion, the phi can work up to the lower limit, Igor, a good zone. Here the squisite is strong, so we sorted it out. Now I'm going to check the chat so that I don't miss anything. We watched some more scenes, I remember it wasn't that. We also watched Spec. Perp, if I'm not mistaken, was also asked to be quiet, but well. I don't think you know me. On YouTube, where you are looking now, there are my old cases, where I did the first acceleration from $100 to 1,000 to 1,500, then from 100 to 700. And the last acceleration I did from 100 to $4,000, that is, 40 X's. Now I am included in life trading as much as possible. I am trading with you. Here I have such uncertainty in my voice, it's because, well, I'm not used to the air yet. Alex, hi. It took me less than a week to accelerate from 100 to 1,000. I've been trading very actively over there. All these 3 overclocks, I was constantly sitting at home, I was turned on as much as possible. So I made such a large number of transactions. The light level of the level was a thimble, it was necessary to gain. I still wonder how the resistance zone worked out here earlier. Firm here. So big, so right it will be. Well, yes, here I see that she worked out. Well, when correcting it, it will need to be considered. Now we will look at the older time frame more. Most likely, we have the first zone for sure for a day. An old coin, right? One is still coming. This is the zone I would mark. Now, Evgeny, the fact that only 1 or 2% do not agree with overclocking. If you follow the strategy and trade correctly, do not violate risk management, go where you need to and skip those coins. Skip those coins that need to be skipped, then this will really take you a week. I reached 4,000 in 2 weeks. I traded less actively, but it's still possible to make 4,000 for $100 in 2 weeks in general. And I have repeated the same result more than once, at least 3 times. Now, I can't trade so actively because of my workload. I won't say that countertrend is a dangerous trade, because if you analyze the coins correctly, you don't fly everything in a row. Then it won't be such a dangerous strategy as you describe it. How many maximum transactions per day, and how much time per day took transactions on average? Probably about 100 made. There were transactions, plus it was at the time when the cue ball was about 100,000, if that's about the first overclocking. We are talking about the first acceleration. By the way, another deal on the dip was sent 70%. Now, coin listing, yes, the graph is utter horror. Yeah. Such coins can also fly there. We'll probably skip it. Plus the question is that this is a dangerous strategy. Again, I disagree. Why? Because 99% of the coins roll away as a result. We have people in Privatka who were sitting in a coin that was pumped there by 400+%. Observing risk management and correctly. If this person had not violated the rule that we do not go into coins that have recently climbed, this was my barrack, then this transaction would not have happened at all, because I said very categorically that you can't go into this coin, into such coins. Plus, she had very high volumes there. It is extremely impossible to enter such coins, even cynically on REM. It was dangerous. But Marina is the person who violated this point, but because she underestimated the REM, she was able to sit out. And closed in a plus, and then she calmly trades. Thanks to this trading, she feeds her boys there. Therefore, plus, we had a lot of training, a week-long training. Dark today, on Bybit probably today, because on Mexc dark, in my opinion, for a long time already. Now. Therefore, I will not say that a countertrend is a dangerous strategy if you violate the constant repair. You do not have discipline there, it will be a dangerous strategy for you. If you don't have discipline, that's the most important thing. If you break the strategy all the time, of course you will have disadvantages. We will kill both 4 and Max. It's interesting that Max is only growing there. While you were there, you were talking up where you grew up. Earlier, we broke through the levels at least here, we have to dense cascades, below they were stabbed, no. Yes, it's stabbed, so the coin broke through this level, then it broke through this one, and changed the trend. At the moment, we are getting on. So I would switch to senior. It is desirable to find something else on the watch. It is necessary to break through this level exactly. Wow, she's been 100% fucked up recently. Yes, that's just the same Andrew. I gave a short here on these levels. I would probably mark this zone here, but I would not rely on it more for myself, although by the way, this zone makes sense. If it is also correct, more competently to do it now on Tiger, I will not trade today due to the internet. I will have a lot of pinging there. I have 3 airs running at the same time. On here on Vk, there is a broadcast, plus more. That's it. On Vk, the ether fell off altogether. There was not a single notification. Okay, I'm going to quickly restart the guys right now. No, it won't work, okay. On the Tiger from the outside, but we will not trade, unfortunately. Because of the pings, I can have a lot of squiz there. I'd be happy to show you how to hit Tiger. We need a separate internet, I would even say more, for this case. But the truth is, because of the internet, such mistakes can be hard, which I do not want to allow and do at all. I will put up an application for 1% or even 2% near the outer border. From the 20th. Is there a 25th? I'll put it at 25th 2%. Now I'm going to write this limit to you everywhere. Although let's wait for the level to break through not far away, so no, we don't set it. But it's not about the lights. Oh, by the way, the level was broken. That's the thing on the internet really, guys. Well, if you think I'm against it, I opened the shorts. It's bad, but I opened it. According to the coin Mexc. Yes, this is a limit, most likely you will need to go out. So we wait 30 minutes. Here I do the truth on the internet. Because of the internet, they can squeal very much. My internet is not very chic, to be honest. Well, apparently it will be necessary to get there, right? Most likely, this level will start to break through, so plus another zone can be marked. There's a lower bound here that this thing prevented her. All the second analysis may be in vain, of course, according to Nicola, I will still have to break through this level. To wait for us their paths are trading. Ilya took 383%, according to 22%, got another 526. Another 535 on Mexc. We have guys burning there while we are watching, waiting for yes, a twitchy monitor. Yes, most likely this growth was clearly not people, but so that it was easy to assemble. I don't know, Ildis. It's better to this. With this question, turn to Andri. 50% shut down. 1,000 and 1,000. Whether we traded. No, we opened there in the early streams, right, guys? So I will be fixed. She doesn't want to hiss. Plus, I look at this broken level as she already has resistance. Yes, it will be necessary to go firm the lower border again. The alpaca is so talented by or and. But as a rule, market makers use robots, well, any algorithms, and I think these algorithms are just the same and so believes and so and you are a smart plus I think with the leadership, people. Well, 32% was taken away. In fact, it was possible to take profit twice from the lower border. When the coin entered here, I could take this movement. Plus I could go firm the upper border, so even my mistake is here, but in the end it's still a plus. Well, there we have Max. At Max. Max took Max away, now I'll show him the panel. Here is my panel, here is Max took 3+%, according to the schedule. Congratulations, cool. Yes, of course, I would have waited to break through the level. How much? 9%, but the indicator will definitely send 9%. So now I'll take a look, there's something writing there, the guys are on the air. Here is one truth called Steenie's comment from Dolls. You seem to be young, you will still have time to master it properly. It's just that trading is mostly honed, desperate people who have something wrong in their lives. Actually. Wow, it poured on, we didn't wait, okay. No, nothing really happened in my life. In fact, I like to do rating. I'm already doing free time. Here. Mikhail, right. Yes, on Bybit. Congratulations on being on Bybit. I just praise that you trade on Bybit. I collected 74%, also essentially 3% on schedule. And someone sticks I don't know to dump. Oh, Sergey too. Vermicelli, Krasova, here's a panel thrown off, right? Oh? I can't look properly. All right. Sergey took us here too, congratulations. And it was possible to take more of course. Not an ideal entry point, but still 5% 6 could be collected. Probably on the Mexc straight. Yes, when there are leaves on the Mexc and they don't let you open them at all. But Natalia also took it from us. Wow. Almost 5%. Well done. There are 3 almost 4% too. Congratulations, Vyacheslav. Cool. Good results, guys. We earn money together. So let's go. There are still signals. Dumps, just dumps. Eh? And no. Recently climbed, if I'm not mistaken. Something we have all the coins dumped. If I'm not mistaken, the last signal of the firing was DAD and 1000 V. I'll give thousands to Ven. Let's see where and how the coin is. Mona is warm. We go clean 45 lambs fast, analyze the level of stabbing, and roll in the beginning. So let's see. Wow, she's hot here today. With the search zone. Well, it's clear that there are 2 levels on top. One time now. To Che for 1000 Van back. It's just that I was there when I went to her and saw that she was dumping, so I immediately skipped. Plus a new coin has arrived. And we have an interesting trade here. Damn, badly marked. Now. Listing here is an interesting area. Perhaps he will collect these 2 levels, but here he can be seen disassembled. Roughly speaking, the stab will be in the upper border. Maybe there's more news on it, if I'm not sure. It's not a fact that it's a shield. Wait, they said there are levels over there. Let's take a look at the future. I analyzed it earlier, by the way, because there are still zones there. When I went to it, I saw that it was there in some zone that we had noted earlier, so it was not copied. I don't know when we marked this zone, but it worked perfectly here as well. 2 times, even once it was necessary to go in, collect 10%, one more time, it was necessary to go from the upper limit. Even if you could sit there for 15%, you could also pick up 15 at the peak. Levels of the level. So I didn't mark any levels here, I look, because they weren't really there. Only these levels are essentially. This is the level. I don't have anything anymore. Incredibly, it will change its movement if it is left behind, so to speak. And it can fall to that line of this trend, at least. That is, to block all your growth. .066, let's take a look now. I didn't see the level here. I didn't see the level there, to be honest. There's a solid fall of WI-Fi 9 lambs. Yes, this is a terrible schedule. We're definitely skipping this one. So the guys that we have on YouTube, you can go to our main Telegram channel, subscribe to it. There we have information on how to get, for example, into the Trading from Scratch group, where we regularly publish reviews of Bitcoin and its stages on a daily basis. Also here you will find information on how to get into a private channel, where all these signals on pumps and dumps regularly come here. If you want, you can try to learn how to trade on them yourself, but it may take you 2 or 3 months for everyone to do it differently. Or you can come to us for a week's training at our academy in a week, to learn literally in a couple of videos and understand how to use this indicator correctly. Extract from here as efficiently as possible profit. We have guys, I'm going to show you what the results are doing here. Here are all their results from this week's training. There are guys, those who bought this training in less than a week, and during the training, there are some who bought half of it. If this training is not enough for you, you want more, then you can come to a full scalping training, where you will learn how to use Tiger to take profit as efficiently as possible with more such a huge deposit you can use. Because there you will trade on very highly liquid coins. Coins such as XP, VEEF, Pepe. Yes, a coin with shark's fits. Interesting. So, maybe I missed some coins or some more coins need to be disassembled, right? We will disassemble. BMT wrote. Now BMT, let's go take a look at 40 million. I look at her here as resistance. This zone was, for which they were not allowed to go. Yes, of course it's interesting to me. Well, obviously here the levels helped her to fly, so to speak, into space. Interestingly, there was a reaction from the lower border. The coin bluntly passed, stitched into this zone. At her level, a very strange character responded to this. Jelly's gonna take a look too. The rate in it is not negative. Strange, of course. Approx. We have an interesting trade here, according to which it was announced as resistance. It's hard to analyze that coin there, which only lies for a month and a half, for the truth on the stock exchange. Does not have any more such adequate information on the chart. Yeah, that's where she got resistance. Oh, so 12% in the peak. We have Max again with a pump. Now, just a second. He doesn't want me to go to the lock. And there he came. All right. There's a PO signal coming. Yes, futures please. So, well, let's take a look at what's going on with Max. At least just understand the situation. Tomorrow the 28th. So whatever? All the charts have chipped in. Yes. I'll think about it now. Istanbul started dumping. Yes, I wonder which breeds started dumping. On all the charts that I did, they chipped in. Thank you, Bybit. After 13% to 0. I don't know, at most it was possible to rely on this consolidation somehow. Performing nonsense, and set that level right here, and for this it was possible to set a pending order to love. And it was possible to assemble a BMT, by the way. Now let's go where I have the schedule reset, right? Well, yes, there is at least a need to break through the levels. Then she broke the local level. Now we will quickly reanalyze it, then we will go to Angeli Jelly. So if I'm wrong, I found some zones at 4 o'clock. This is the zone. Which it will be possible to work with. Perhaps this zone will help us to come. 6% isn't that far off, by the way. So, we will have Jelly on our turn. And of course, I would like to work out BMT on this broadcast. Yuri, how do I withdraw from the exchange on P2P or through exchangers via Pepe on Bybit? There, if you are registered using our referral link, Then you will have 0% commission on P2P. If you want to go to our referral there, in addition to the fact that you will be with our referral, you will have support from us. We can contact managers there directly. We had such situations that the person was blocked, the account was frozen, and we helped him to unfreeze the account, withdraw money. It was just like that on Bybit. If you are our referral on the exchanges, you will get into the trading group from scratch, and you will have advantages everywhere. So, while we're waiting for the BMT, I suggest you hold a $45 raffle. Let's do it now. This table is now public. When we publish the results of the draw, you can go to this table and see. Now we will hold this drawing. We have an evolution of the network conductor. The conductor also saw The Last Samurai incorrectly. You can unsubscribe from these channels. We have these practical jokes every day, regularly. We hold 2 or 3 drawings once a week for sure. In order to get into this group, you can either go into trading from scratch, or find such a post in Pravotka. There will be a group, only a group of earnings without investments. Now I will also send this link to the chat to the guys on YouTube. You can join it. Such practical jokes are regularly laid out here. Here, there will be a link to the advertised channel. You join it, and send me a screenshot of the entry here on in the help. And wait for the draw. Those who are not a referral will get 10, and those who are a referral will get 15 of the kids for speaking out. So now for a second. Now we will hold a drawing. I will send you a link to this group. So, we had 60 people participating in the first draw, so we go to the random number generator, set the range, save it. Find out the winner's number at number 43. We have 26 boxes. So, I'm going to take a screenshot now so that I can change the color later, because my account has crashed and so on. We have 51 people in the next draw, so we set a new range, save it, find out the winner's number at number 31. This is Mrs. Vlad here. Now I will also make a screenshot. Then we have the last draw. 78 people participated, quite a lot. I go back to the generator, set the range, find out the winner's number at number 4. And this is Marcus Shy or Marcus High. Marcus or Mark. Congratulations. That's it, we have 3 winners. The first winner is Shkachilev, the second is Mrs. Vlad, and Mark is the third winner. Please subscribe Tunes Help if you are on this broadcast. Now I'm going to drop a link everywhere to this group. And let's go trade a little before that. I just want to take a look at you, I'm afraid to miss the entrances. She broke through our coins level. So, and here she came to the Protorgovka along the way, right? Damn, to such a normal Protorgovka. Oh, it's far from the zone. I would mark the same zone as locally. I'm thinking of an understated ram with a 25th shoulder. Yeah, there's the 12th shoulder, got it. Please go. I think we can go in. So, now, she opened everything for us. But, of course, the figure at the shoulder is interesting. Let's see if we can put together a good movement or not. I think so. Plus, let's take a look at the deep check. There we have Mexc continue to pace. Aha, we closed the type yesterday or today, at the beginning of the broadcast. So, near the coin level. At a minimum, we need to wait for the penetration of these levels, so there are no adequate zones. Except for some incomprehensible zone here, as I said earlier. Yes. Maximum. I would note. In order to get there, you also need to break through the upper level. Maybe some more. There is such a small sample. To the question, will it affect my doubts now? Okay, it's too late to come in anyway. Oh, it's too early to go in yet. So. And we keep it. On Gildas we have come, congratulations on the Mexc. Victor visited us 279% of Mexc took congratulations. On Hero, 360 at the pump, and 1000%, it's pretty cool, and he's almost also spec. Which was analyzed today, probably everything was reset there again, too. No, it didn't reset here by the way, in my opinion. So I'm cleaning up our drawing room. So I slept whether I was allowed to enter the zone from the lower border or not, I do not remember. In my opinion, no, yes. It is necessary to see far from the zone to break through these three levels. By the way, there is also some kind of Protorgovka here. And I don't see anything interesting for us yet. 1727 perp. Well, we went to perp, yes. We are holding for now. We will observe the whore with an understated mayor, so that you can sit quietly and keep. So, I promised you a link. Here is our group, be sure to join it in order to earn without investments, Also, it's just that you will need to join there and send a screenshot minutes from the action. The chances of winning are great. There are not many people already participating. Also, now the guys on YouTube are being asked a question. If they have already registered, they can't make a referral. You can do it. We have transfer instructions. You can write to me on in the help. I'll show you how to do it. This is very simply done. So keep quiet, we're looking at nothing interesting. We definitely won't go in. Yes, the type does not give rest. The C has lower volumes, there are less than 1 million on the Bybit. It was definitely boiling. So it's probably pointless to wait for the spec, only to wait for the level sooner or later to come in. So I would look at the C the other way around, then we definitely won't go. So, I wonder how everyone reacted. I see we've been growing really well lately. So, something we have is rushing further up. Now let's see where it will be possible to average FortCon pumps on FortCon without an indicator. Oh. Without a tiger it's dangerous to work out, so I'd rather go for oil, or at 4 o'clock I'd find something if I'm not mistaken. We went for 1%, right? With the 12th shoulder, it would not have been violated at all. Mega understated with us. Let's note the zone. I have been Wednesday considered, after breaking through this level, and hence averaging. I no longer see any point in averaging up somewhere, so on the daily frame, we have a level not far away. That is not broken through the resistance zone, which I believe has already worked very well there. Now we will find out another level from above. I think after breaking through these two levels, it will be safe to go now. Yes, I have only one turned around. I would also like to mark this zone here, but it is very questionable. In general, I don't see any adequate zone. Maybe I see younger ones. Well, this is what catches the eye on a clean one. At 4 o'clock, well, in general, the zone will go to the level far away, but not far away. And several times I was not allowed to pass here. It is quite possible that there will be a plus or a liquidity surge. The spec we have there is growing further. Well, 3 levels of your own when you drink. Oh, by the way, we're close. What will work out in this broadcast? I think it will be possible to go there quietly. Yes, I would like to go through a glass, otherwise you can't see what's going on. 4% left is not too far away. Wow, Lena is 300% here. She made 1,000% on the pump, and cool, congratulations on a good result. So I would like to wait right on this broadcast. I look there, the lower border. In the upper boundary, I'm not letting something pass. Our bet is normal, the revolutions for the Bybit are normal, so I'm going to prepare the 25th shoulder now. But clearly, the impulse to go to the level will collect everything they do not want there in any way. Three or four at a time. It is quite possible that algorithms work there. No, with feet. We traded for a stop yesterday. It's no use for me to put a stop when I can still consider averaging. If you move away from the screen, then of course the table will be exposed. Plus, if we consider such a strategy, which we teach at a large training, then there are also stops there. They are very short. But as a rule, In such transactions, the river is 1 to 3 at least. There is 1 to 10 too. The resistance shows the upper limit of the price apparently will not. After the stream, I will definitely sit watching this coin on the perp averaging. I will also consider to more averaging. This is after breaking through the level and in the zone that Dad noted earlier. In this zone, we have an understated, very understated with the 12th shoulder. Regarding training, yes, the manager needs to write. I can send you a chat context if necessary. Let's send it so that you don't search. But if the loss is already, which is well up to the ceiling, roughly speaking, there you allocate 2 or 3%. And you already have 3% of the transaction there. Averaging is bad. Here you can write to the money manager ons and find out about the training. They will tell you everything there in detail. A person writes about averaging. Is averaging at the moment of loss a good idea? It's not a bad idea when RAM allows you. If of course you have RAM there already on the border, and you can't, RAM does not allow you to average by an equal share. Then of course we will have 0 pack pumps, then this will be the wrong decision, and when RAM allows, why not? The maximum ideal entry point is very difficult to catch. Always the price a little higher can go away. There's nothing wrong with that. Thanks to RAM, you can sit out any growth. Buy. They drove us to watch the foam. I think this will be the last signal for today. Let's go in. We won't go in where to average the poperbs, I generally said. Wow, I see we have an upward movement for this coin for a very long time. So we are in the resistance zone at 4 o'clock. There is local resistance here. I would have gone in, but I would have left quickly. Oh, what's the 75th? The 25th. That is, I definitely won't be sitting here for a long time. Purely local, because I always have a local resistance that works out well, but our rate is normal, right? Well, there is a first reaction in general. I will take it away. I will not sit out. Fuzz deal. The first movement, because the local resistance is still there, I don't want to expect any huge values from it somehow. Therefore, there is a plus. I collected it. The profit, though not to say big 12% of course, with the 25th shoulder, but a plus. And as you can see, he came out for a reason. And there Victor looks at the paths and sets fire to 560% of my panel. We went in from the local. There was some kind of reaction after all. It was dangerous to hatch. That's it, I think we can end here. Today we had several deals. On the perp averaging, I generally said, when it closes, I'll let you know. Averaging will be for an equal share of the position. That is, I went for $130, on Wednesday for $130, then $260. That's it, I think we can end this. Thanks to everyone who came. See you all again, and have a good evening.